Today's legislation, combined with AB 3088, build on the state's rent cap and eviction protections passed through the legislature and was signed back in 2019. Hello, property management brainstormers. It's Bob Preston here, your host, and welcome to 5 Minute Friday. FMF is a mini podcast series where I offer my best tips and advice regarding questions I frequently get from property managers, real estate investors, and landlords. I do this every Friday in 5 minutes or less. So if you're new here, consider subscribing to get all my quick advice and updates, and let's get started with today's FMF. Hey everyone, let's jump right in here. Today is Friday, January 29th, 2021, and it's been a busy day in Sacramento, California today as Governor Gavin Newsom signed legislation to extend the state's eviction moratorium through June 30th, 2021. Now, this wasn't a surprise. In fact, just yesterday I posted a podcast with Niv Davidovich of Davidovich Stein Law Group, and we were talking that due to the surge of COVID-19, likely something was going to happen where the moratorium was extended. So this wasn't necessarily a surprise, but it is still important news to provide to our listeners if you're not already aware. So this is an extension of what was established last year under AB 3088. 3088 was set to expire at the end of this month, so that has been extended again to that end of June date. The legislation pauses evictions for tenants who declare under penalty of perjury and inability to pay all or part of their rent due to a COVID-related reason. So tenants are still responsible for paying unpaid amounts to the property owners, but those unpaid amounts cannot be the basis for eviction even after the moratorium ends. There was also a new state bill, 91, SB 91, establishes rental assistance program to allocate $2.6 billion in federal rental assistance California will receive. So there's a lot to learn about SB 91, but today's legislation combined with AB 3088 build on the state's rent cap and eviction protections passed through the legislature and was signed back in 2019. This continues to address the housing availability, affordability crisis, and other aspects of California's housing markets that have been exacerbated by COVID-19. There are some other aspects to SB 91, which quite frankly, I still need to gain clarity on, but it prohibits the selling or assigning of rental debt that was accrued by landlords from tenants from March 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021 until the end of the moratorium. However, the prohibition is permanent with respect to the rental debt of people at or below 80% of area median income who meet the eligibility requirements of rental assistance program. Property owners or other housing providers are also now prohibited from using COVID-19 related debt as a negative factor in evaluating a housing application or as the basis for refusing to rent to an otherwise qualified tenant. Another interesting aspect of SB 91 is that it allocates $2.6 billion in federal rental assistance that California will receive, and the program will target aid to not only income qualified tenants most at risk with unpaid back rent, but will also be extended to property owners or landlords who agree to waive 20% of unpaid rent. And by agreeing to do this waiver, property owners could become eligible for 80% in rent reimbursements for amounts owed between April 1st, 2020 and March 31st, 2021 as reimbursement from the state of California. So look, got a lot to learn about this. It's all brand new. We will continue to track it at North County Property Group and on Property Management Brainstorm. Stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. TGIF, enjoy what I think is going to be primarily a dry weekend here in California after we've just got dumped on in both rain and snow throughout the state. Thanks for joining today's 5 Minute Friday. Have a great weekend.